I am not an artist. I don't know how to appreciate art. Madalas nyo sigurong sinasabi yan sa sarili ninyo, no? You might find yourself thinking this while others have a basic understanding of what art means due to their skills in certain techniques. Yung mga iba siguro sa inyo expert na. However, have you ever wondered how one begins to study and appreciate art? We are doing art, pero alam ba natin kung paano natin i-appreciate ang art at paano ito pag-aralan? In the era of Instagram and Facebook and Reels, encountering art has become commonplace. Whether it's original, reinterpreted, or repurposed, art is everywhere. Often tailored to serve specific purposes or convey particular values. You might even have clicked the like or love button on a graphic post that resonated with you. Yung mga tipong scroll up mo lang, tapos double tap para i-heart yung mga iba't ibang mga reels o iba't ibang mga my days. You might be appreciating art already na hindi mo namamalayan. YouTube is filled with tutorials on painting, calligraphy, which is of course about writing letters, lettering, ganyan, watercolor, and more. Making various art techniques accessible to a wide audience, including young, aspiring artists. Marahil pagdaanan nyo na rin yung mga iba't ibang mga techniques sa art sa iba't ibang mga social media and video channels, ano? The availability of art and information is really unprecedented, and the sheer volume can be overwhelming. With so many sources, it's difficult to know where to begin or whether the information we find is accurate. At dyan tayo papasok ngayon, you know? That is where art appreciation as an academic discipline comes into play. Although it might be less commonly studied in this country, its strength lies in its academic foundation. Kumbaga, hindi lang tayo basta pa-scroll na lang, hindi lang tayo basta panood-nood na lang. We are guided by the academic foundation, by this subject. You know, to help navigate the often conflicting feelings we have towards art, let's start from a place that makes the most sense. Paano tayo nakaka-appreciate ng art? Where does it begin? So, from where it begins, the most sense would be you, yourself. So, this particular lesson begins by exploring within the framework of the millennial age. Babagay natin. And from this starting point, we'll delve deeper into the subject. Do you agree with the idea that our generation or your generation is often referred to as the anxious generation? Napaka-sensitive, balat sibuyas. And if you speak with people who grew up during the baby boomer era, mga nanay, tatay natin, mga lolo't lola natin, they might describe a life defined by simple choices. Go to school, study, work, and get married. Napakasimple lang ng buhay noon. Wala pa yung mga social media na siyang rason kung bakit ang dami na depressed and maraming kailangan nating patunayan. Today, life is much more complex, and we are often distracted by the illusions of ideal lives that the internet portrays, leading us away from the core values of our humanity. Sinasabi ng internet na dapat para maging masaya ang buhay mo, dapat ganito ka, dapat ganyan ka. You know, we are being distracted, and the simple now becomes not simple, it becomes complex. You know, it distracts us from the core values of our humanity. So in this lesson, we will explore the value of art in our lives. Even if you're not an artist, you will discover how the arts can address human limitations that we often overlook due to the distractions of modern life. Kahit papano, kahit ganun ang nangyayari sa mundo natin, there is art which may provide some sort of help in our personal lives. And that would be the functions of art in our lives. So, here are the proposed functions of art in our lives, though they are by no means exhaustive. When I say that, ito lang yung mga pagfofokusan natin. Due to time constraints, we will be talking about number 1, beauty. Number 2, happiness and hope. Number 3, identity and understanding the self. Number 4, grief and healing. Number 5, remembering and mark making. Number 6, raising awareness. Number 7, culture and togetherness. This is inspired by Alain de Botton's Art as Therapy. These functions of art resonate with common human experiences, particularly relevant to us as Filipinos, and by exploring these ideas, we can better understand the role of art in our shared humanity. So, isa-isahin natin yan. The functions of art in our lives. No? So, first one is beauty. So, why do people hang artworks on their walls? The most common reason, most likely, is for their beauty. You know, the concept of beauty is subjective and often debated. Alam niyo na pinagkaiba ng subjective at saka objective, di ba? Pag sinabi nating objective, it's a universally accepted truth. Pag sinabi nating subjective, ay depende sa iyo. But in this context, we are referring to the aesthetic value of art. Aesthetic and pretty art can transform dull, lifeless spaces like a plain white wall into something vibrant and dynamic. While our notions of beauty may differ, it remains a universal factor in art appreciation. So, kahit na kung ano yung maganda sa'yo ay hindi maganda sa kasama mo, nag-agree tayo na ang art na maganda ay maganda pa rin. So, it is the commonality that art is beautiful that is the factor in art appreciation. So, beauty in its various forms makes sense to most of us. No? That is the first function of art, to deliver, to give beauty. The next function of art is happiness and hope. Function of, or the relevance, the significance of art in our lives is to give us happiness and hope. That is number 2. Art has a unique ability to reflect the soul of those who engage in it. Parang ito ay nakakapagbigay ng kaligayahan at pag-asa sa atin. It speaks to our soul sometimes when we look at art, when we listen to art, when we watch art. And on a societal level, artworks often mirror the hopes and anxieties of their time. There are many reasons why art can evoke the feelings of joy and hope. For example, artworks placed in daunting environments or sad environments like hospitals can uplift spirits. Okay? Another is that the process of creating art itself can be therapeutic. Ibig sabihin, you are creating art, kaya maganda man o pangit, but habang ginagawa mo siya, nakakagaan siya sa iyong kaluluwa. Next, viewing imagery that evokes happy memories like a painting of a dog can bring joy. Ako nga mismo, if I see a painting of a cat in the internet, I feel, happy and just smile, Next, typography o yung mga letterings, and graphic messages that resonate deeply can feel as though the artist understand your thoughts and feelings, nakaka-relate tayo. Na para bang meron kang nararamdaman ngayon, tapos bakit kaya ang galing ng artist nakuha niya kung ano ang saloobin ko, parang ganon, right? And lastly, identifying with the themes of an artwork, whether it addresses social issues or pay homage to something meaningful, is really something that gives our soul spiritual food or something. For example, mga artwork about religion. If you are a religious person, nakaka-identify ka. If an artwork is like, for example, emo, tapos nasa emo stage ka, nakaka-relate ka rin. Pag ikaw ay iniwan or heartbroken, and then you see a lot of quotes, a lot of graphics na nagsasabi na kaya mo yan, talaga naman na-uplift ka talaga. So, that is the second relevance of art in our lives, happiness and hope. The third relevance of art in our lives, it gives us identity and understanding the self. Today's generation, called the me generation, kasi puro mga pinopost natin, me. Nagpa-flex tayo dyan, ano? Is also labeled as the anxious generation. Mga tipong nagpo-post tayo, pero gusto natin may mga mag-like sa mga post natin. Nagpo-post tayo, pero pag wala nag-like, parang it feels so bad. Ba't pa ako nag-post? Parang ganon, right? So social issues like gender identity also comes into play. Disconnectedness due to social media, regionalism, for example, pag ikaw ay Ilocano, hindi ka makaka-relate sa mga Bisaya, and vice versa. And, these are mental challenges that reflect our struggle with identity. And sometimes, pag hindi natin ito napagtuunan talaga ng pansin, it often result into mental health challenges. So, how can art help address these challenges? Do you agree that sometimes we need something external and tangible to articulate our feelings and struggles? No? Gusto mo maggawa ka na lang ng poem, gusto mo gawa ka na lang ng post. Yung pagpo-post mo mismo ng sama ng loob mo, nakagawa ka ng literature, nakagawa ka ng napakagandang graphics, napakagandang reel para lang i-express yung sarili mo. Di ba? So, art can be a powerful tool for communication, helping us express confusion and navigate identity issues. Nakikita natin or nahahanap natin ang mga sarili natin through art. And even in psychological therapy, art is used to process complex emotions and experiences. Galing, di ba? So, that is the third relevance of art in our lives. The fourth significance of art in our lives is grief and healing. Pagkaluksa. You know what? There was a time before na nagkaroon ng World War na kung saan ay mga iba't ibang mga bansa ng mundo ay naglalaban-laban sa World War. World War I and then World War II. Grabe nun. Kumbaga, hindi wala ka freedom na katulad ngayon. Pagkatapak mo ng 18 years old, makikigera ka na kagad. So, talaga nakaka-depress nung panahon na yun. 20th century art often grappled with themes of grief and darkness. For example, there's this artwork by Rachel Whiteread's Ghost Library. It explores the haunting memories of Holocaust victims through an experiential architectural expression of place and memory. Alam niyo ba yung Holocaust dati? Ito nung nagpupurga dati si Adolf Hitler ng mga Jews. At nira-round up niya lahat ng mga Jews. Nilalagay niya sa mga concentration camps. Mga iba, marami siyang pinatay na mga Jews. So that was the Holocaust before. And there were, not only that, there were a lot of wars that happened, not just the World War I or World War II. Yun nga, nagkaroon nga tayo ng mga, like, iba't ibang mga kaguluhan sa mundo right now in the mid 2020s We are having the Israel and Hamas conflict, Israel and Palestine conflict. We are having the Russia and Ukraine conflict. So try to imagine kung anong ginagawa ng mga to para lang maibsan ang kanilang mga kaluluwa. Some of these people will turn to art. And by turning into art, maiibsan ang kanilang damdamin. You know what? Artists have long interpreted shared human experiences in various ways, helping us process grief, whether used in therapy or as a means of personal expression. Art plays a crucial role in dignifying the grieving process. And that is the fourth significance of art in our lives for grief and healing. The next one would be remembering and mark making. Pagkaalala, no? How does art help us remember? Yan ang tanong. Artists shape our cultural landscape and preserve memories. For example, the Rizal Monument in Luneta Park. That would be a reminder, a tangible. Ibig sabihin, nakikita mo mismo, hindi mo lang inaalala. That is a tangible reminder of national heroism and patriotism. You know, without such symbols, our nationalistic values may not be as strongly upheld. Art in its many forms, whether through monuments, paintings, or films, help us remember and honor our past. Pag kayo ay nagawi sa papuntang SM Manila, there is the mural of Andres Bonifacio right there. That helps us remember. And there are countless monuments all over the Philippines ng mga bayani natin. That helps us remember mga kabayanihan ng ating mga bayani. No? So, art is for that. Remembering and mark making. For example, there is this work of Anthony Gormley's Angel of the North. It's the world's largest sculpture. And Anish Kapoor's Cloud Gate in Chicago. You know, these monumental artworks not only mark their locations but also create a sense of identity and belonging for the people who live near them. The next one would be raising awareness. No. Art can be a powerful tool for raising awareness about social and political issues. For example, nakita tayo sa balita, no, ng mga large sculptural effigies used in protests in Manila as a form of activist art. Not only awareness raising, art is bold, matapang. Meron naman mga ibang mga art na pakunwari or subtlety ang ginagamit nila. Like satirical paintings who at first glance parang hindi masyadong obvious, but it is also a form of activism. You know what? In the Philippines, many artists have used their work to critique political systems and social injustices. Even in architecture, such as the stained glass windows of the Gothic churches in Europe, art has been used to convey messages and values. Lastly, art is for culture and togetherness. You know, art often reflects and reinforces local identities, especially in a country like the Philippines with its many distinct regions. Alam mo, abroad, masabi lang na Pinoy, ang dami na kagad magko-comment na Pinoy power. You know, we are proud of the people who are raising our banners. For example, Manny Pacquiao, Carlos Yulo, and a whole lot more. That also reflects in the regional diversity of the Philippines. Once a tool under division for colonial or under colonial rule, it can now be a source of strength and unity. Dati, Regional diversity, si Ilocano, si Bicol, si Bisaya, iba-iba yung mga yan. Dati, pinagdi-divide tayo ng mga yan. Pero, at the moment, art coming from Ilocos, art coming from the Bicol, you know, Pilipino yan eh. Pilipino pa rin yan. It is now a source of strength and unity. A great example is the national costume worn by Miss Universe 2019 si Catriona Gray, which symbolically represented the unity of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Itong costume na ito, talagang it really brought wow to the world, no? Not just as someone from Bicol, but someone from the Philippines. The costume was not just a fashion statement, but a powerful expression of national identity and togetherness. So it brings us all into one culture. No? And in case you do not know what culture is, it is the common identity of a group of people. For example, we Ilocanos have our own culture. We Filipinos have our own culture as well. Galing, di ba? So keep in mind, art is not just about creating beautiful things. It plays a significant role in our lives, but by helping us navigate our emotions, understanding ourselves, remember our past, raise awareness, and foster a sense of community. Through art, we connect with our shared humanity and find meaning in the world around us.